Greetings, cinephiles. Are you looking for a movie analysis podcast that stands above the rest? Then look no further than Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters.
We analyze good movies, we analyze bad movies, and yes, we also analyze the in-betweens of the world of cinema.
So if you like what you hear, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
And yes, my friends, we are 420 friendly. So when you listen to us, smoke it if you've got it. And now, here's a new episode of Collateral Gaming. The show starts right now.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And I'm Bo Maddox.
And this is Collateral Gaming. Welcome to Collateral Gaming, the only video game podcast that matters, where we focus on good games, bad games, and everything else in between in the world of gaming. We're podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas, and yes, my friends, we are, as always, a 420-friendly podcast, so whatever you have, smoke it if you've got it. And welcome to another retro game review. Originally, this was going to be a two-part episode, but due to the fact that we're working through the backlog, and I didn't even really think we had 2 parts worth of content here, we were actually just going to do one episode on Bushido Blade.
Yeah.
I think we'll have enough to talk about here. In retrospect, actually, I would have done a 2-part on Bushido Blade 1 and 2. That might have been a good pairing.
Yeah, that could have been the thing to do. And I mean, Bushido Blade 2, it kind of just expands on everything that this game sets forth. So yeah, that would have made sense.
But yeah, today we're here to talk about Bushido Blade on the PlayStation 1. Bo, you introduced me to this game. You're the one that actually suggested it. So why don't you go ahead and give me a little bit of background on your background on this game, with this game.
Well, I mean, this goes back to pretty much my whole thing with Squaresoft back in the 90s. I mean, they were just on fire at that point. They had Tobal #1 and #2. You had Einhander, Parasite Eve, of course, Final Fantasy VII, of course, And also, later on you'd have Ehrgeiz and everything. But somewhere along the line, they released this little game, which is kind of more of a sword fighting simulator rather than a straight up fighting game.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a game where you really just can't button mash, nor are there really any like hardcore move sets to really learn. There's not a whole lot of them. It's all about just kind of the feel of the duel itself.
Yeah, it's basically a kendo simulator. It's actually kind of interesting. Yeah, a fighting game, I guess, is the best way you could have described it because there really isn't anything like it at the time. But yeah, I mean, like you said, this is the golden age of Squaresoft, right? And yeah, they straight up released this like sword fighting game, and it's ultra realistic. It does this thing that I thought was really cool and novel when I did it in Ghost of Tsushima as an alternate like difficulty mode.
Yeah.
Where it was like, you and the enemies all take damage in one hit kind of thing, realism. But no. Bushido Blade was doing it way back in 1997 on the PS1. That's impressive. I really feel like this game is kind of ahead of its time. It's like the level of like detail and the fact that like you can hit different parts of the enemy's body to disable them.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that hadn't really been attempted yet up to that point. And I mean, this was coming at that time where, gaming was starting to move into the third dimension. And, developers were really starting to kind of... they were starting to kind of experiment a lot with what they could do with the conventions of different genres. And this right here, it's like, it feels like kind of like an arena fighter, but it's not.
No.
And I mean, there's no UI or anything like that. It's just you and your opponent, and you both have swords, and you just have to kind of think a little bit about how you bring your opponent down. This isn't it's not like the most Twitch gaming kind of game, where it's about reflex and everything. It's really about kind of thinking about what move is best to actually potentially take your opponent down in one hit.
Yes.
This is a game where you can absolutely lose a match in just a couple of seconds at the beginning.
Or win one kind of by chance. You just kind of swing it around.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. I really like it. Like you said, this is not even like really a fast-paced game. It's kind of like a take your time, strategize, figure out what you're going to do. It can be over quickly, but it's like, it's just like taking a moment to pause and figure out, and I was honestly impressed with just how much, like how many like movement options there are, like how many things you can do. Like there's like 3 different stances. I'm still trying to like learn what each stance, is good for and like where that's applicable. And, and not only that, but there's 3 different like swings that you can do on each stance. And then there's all these different advanced movement options. You can jump, you can run and slice, you can, you can do like a move where you can slam your sword into the ground, even though that would obviously break the Bushido rule.
Yeah.
You could throw pocket sand.
Yeah. Shisha.
Every character has like a secret like ninja weapon hidden on them too.
Yeah, like a shuriken or a little dagger that they can throw at their opponent and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, you can absolutely disable your opponent's legs and whatnot and bring them down to where, they're not as mobile. They won't be able to run. Mm-hmm. They won't be able to, really get at you the way that they want to. But I mean, they can still be a threat if they get you in the right place and they get the right moment to hit you. Even when you're that's why there's that whole mechanic where you can actually kind of go down on the ground and actually kind of maneuver that way.
The fucking Magikarp shit. I happened to be, and I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
No, there's a utility to that.
You just have to know it.
You just got to know the right time to actually utilize it.
Yeah. No, there's like a whole science to this because you have all these different, you have several different characters, and every character can use every weapon. And they all have different like weights and speeds and stuff. And so you kind of have to try to like figure out, and like you mentioned, it's how can you take the enemy down in one move? And usually, that's what you're aiming for. Sometimes you'll hit the enemy, but it's not like a lethal hit. You gotta like keep wailing on the guy, like, yo, like, what's going on?
And depending on what weapon you're using, I mean, sometimes you might want to take more of a run and gun type of strategy. Like maybe if you have something that's more attuned to slashing, mm-hmm. like the katana or the short saber, it's like, I mean, that kind of takes more towards taking a running approach to everything. But something like a katana or a nodachi, it's like, I mean, you're gonna want to kind of take your time on that, know? Or if you have the naginata, it's like, I mean, you have some range on your opponent, so I mean, you could kind of utilize that to full effect.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. There's different strengths and weaknesses with each weapon, and also each character has a particular weapon or two that they actually have special moves for that's unique to them. So there's even there's even kind of like some parodies like that. And every weapon has different special moves and stuff. What I thought was interesting is the game doesn't have any like in-game display for like movesets. And that's something I kind of wish they did, but at the same time, it's like, well, that was all in the manual. That's why.
Exactly.
I did pull up the manual PDF while I was playing this, and that was really cool because it actually shows you all of the combos, all the characters, all the special moves, and what they do, which is awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed this, and it kind of surprised me. What's funny is I remember like taking enemies down really quickly at first and going through the story mode, and I was like, wait, what's going on? Am I taking them down in one hit? And then I realized what it is. I'm like, oh, it's like this is like realistic. Like this is like taking down the enemies. The other thing that this game has is there's actually a Bushido code system that you're like certain actions actually show like dishonor. You're supposed to keep to the Bushido code. Don't slice the enemy in back or on the ground or when they haven't put themselves into stance.
Yeah, if you actually want to see all the endings, you actually have to adhere to the Bushido code while you're fighting. You have to really, and I can tell you right now, it's sort of difficult to do. I mean, it's real easy to catch somebody, to slice them from behind, or when they're coming up from the ground or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's easy to do by accident, yeah.
very easy. And I mean, if you do that, you don't get the full game.
Yeah, it actually cuts the story mode right there and tells you, like, you've been acting dishonorable. It's cool, too, because if you read the manual, it kind of, like, hints at it. It's like, yeah, you should try to be honorable and do this. And, like, if you're reading that as a player, you're like, well, it doesn't mean I have to be honorable. But then you learn, oh, okay, so, yeah, I need to adhere to the Bushido code. So I liked that aspect of it, too. You know, there's kind of there's an additional element of realism in there that you have to adhere to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how the characters realistically move after having their limbs cut or body parts attacked and stuff. And like I mentioned, I'm really impressed by what they managed to do with this on the PS1. I'd love to see what a Bushido Blade game would look like with modern hardware. Like if they wanted to remake this or remaster or do like a modern sequel.
Well, I can't recall the name of this particular game, but there is a game out right now that is more of a gladiator simulator, but in spirit, it's kind of the same concept as Bushido Blade. You know, it's meant to kind of be more of a realistic, swords and axe and shields fighting game. Like an actual weapons simulator.
I'll have to check that out. That's cool. I know there was a sequel to this Bushido Blade 2, and there was a spiritual successor on the PS2, Kengo Master of Bushido.
Yeah.
But that actually does sound cool. Like he kind of like taking it into like a different setting and doing kind of the same concept. And the other thing too is every character also has like kind of like a unique part to play in the story too, and have different relationships with different characters. Like we watched through all like the different character endings.
Yeah.
And that was cool. I think like the general gist of it is like there's this like organization called the Kage, and which is shadows for anybody that doesn't know.
Yeah,
like a society of assassins, right?
It's like some kind of power struggle that occurs when the master of the Kage dies or something like that.
And
I think
one member of the Kage escapes, and that's your character.
Yeah.
And they end up having to fight everybody else too, which is kind of you see some of the characters like take down enemies, and they're like, oh, like like that was my friend. Like you could tell like there was like some camaraderie there. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like you're having to like kind of like break through. And apparently, not only do you have to adhere to the Bushido code in order to get the ending of the game, but there's apparently some secret endings of the game that are extremely convoluted. So I don't know who the fuck would think about this, but apparently to fight like the last like the secret boss, who's a character that wields a gun.
Yeah.
Let's follow this logical conclusion, right? Like in a game where like, you can go down in one hit. Yeah, let's add a gun. And yeah, it does what you think it does. You got to close the distance and slice that guy before he shoots you.
Exactly.
That's cool, but in order to even get to that dude, you have to get to like towards like to the end of the game, and then you have to walk through like every part of the map. Apparently all of the stages are actually interconnected and in one space. And so you can actually run all the way through the map as it's rendering a little bit at a chunk at a time, and you're actually running away from your opponent. You have to run away from your opponent. I don't know who would think to do that at that particular stage.
Yeah.
And they follow you, and then you have to like run down a manhole. And I think you also have to like, or at least for one ending or something, you have to also have not taken any damage. But like, who would walk all the way through the map and then jump down that manhole? I want to know, like.
I can tell you right now that's kind of a holdover from when games were just obtuse like that, I mean, games back, especially in the 16-bit era, they really expected you to kind of just figure shit out, And a lot of that was, also they wanted to prolong games that are being rented and everything, but
true. Yeah, there are a lot of things that you can tell were done to kind of like prolong, like pad the length of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And it's done efficiently. Let's put a little short story mode, but let's have like different characters. So each character has a slightly different story. That'll pad the length. Let's and then let's add like secret endings, and let's make it to where you have to get through the entire thing without taking any damage. I mean that's really going to give you more playability. And I even like how much they added to the game. So there's a story mode, there's a versus mode where you can fight against your friends. There's a there's a POV mode where it's like versus mode in like first person that they just kind of threw it as sort of like a novelty. It's fun to check out. And if you have a link cable, apparently, I don't know how many people were in a situation where they had 2 TVs and 2 PS1s and a link cable, but you could play that POV mode in multiplayer.
Oh yes, the old days of PlayStation multiplayer. I mean, some of them you could just use a multi-tap and they would have like split screen and everything. But there was a lot of those games that you needed to have like a link cable, 2 PlayStations, 2 copies of the game, and 2 televisions in order to actually effectively play real multiplayer gaming.
Okay,
they
they could have just added a split screen mode.
they could have, but I mean, for any number of reasons, who knows? The performance probably would have been shit. So I mean,
fair enough. The frame rate on this was kind of impressive. I noticed is this 60 frames? Or at least in some of the gameplay videos I watched, I know people were able to run it at 60.
Yeah, they upscale and everything.
It. Yeah. So you have the POV mode, the link mode, which is the multiplayer POV mode. There's also a slash mode, which is actually an endurance mode.
Apparently, you have to take on 100 opponents without taking a hit and without dying on 1 life. So and
so you're the gorilla.
Huh?
You're the gorilla versus the 100 men?
I apparently, that's what you are, literally. And it does get a little more challenging. Like they bring out a lot of boss characters to fight. And apparently the last stage is all boss characters.
And that's even more interesting in a game that has like a one-hit kill system, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And the reward for that is you get to play as the character with the gun.
The gun character. Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good reward. And this is a multiplayer game, so that's something you can actually use and just play. Like imagine like you unlock the gun character and you come over to your friend's house and they're like, what? You got the gun guy?
Right.
Yeah, and even with some of how some of the secrets of this game are so obtuse, I imagine like here in this like pre-internet era, this was like, okay, but there are some things that were like word of mouth, and maybe you met a friend who was like, yeah, I jumped down the manhole and I fought a dude with a gun, and they're like, what? No, you didn't.
Yeah.
And then gaming magazines probably came out and reported some stuff, official game guides, obviously. But, and I imagine that there are some people who probably like that was the thing. They went in the game and they just fucking explored everything. I don't know.
Sometimes,
to write those.
I don't even think people would have really thought to do that even in this game. I mean, even as much freedom of movement as they give you here.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, people are they're used to arena fighters, where you're walled in and everything.
I thought they were all walled in.
Yeah, and this feels very much like an arena fighter in that sense, but yeah.
Yeah, but all the stages are actually connected apparently. And they were rendering in the background during the cutscenes. They don't do that when you're apparently walking all the way through the entire area.
Oh no, you have a couple of save times that come up, or loading times, I should say. Yeah.
But yeah, so there was the slash mode. There was also a training mode where you actually fight with Boken.
Yeah. You actually fight with Boken and everything, and it's one of the better training modes that you could undertake in a fighting game. It really does give you, a real feel of how to use each weapon. And they have Bokens for the katana, the nodachi, the saber.
Yeah, I spent some time in the training mode, just so I could like kind of learn some of the moves.
Yeah, exactly.
And get comfortable with it because there's a lot that you could do.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and you really have to kind of approach it like kenjutsu, swordsmanship. You have to actually, or kendo. You have like all the different stances and things that you can do. I really like that.
And in actual kendo matches, it's every point is whenever you take a strike, that would be a lethal blow.
Yeah.
So it still adheres to this game still adheres to that concept. I mean, at the end of the day, kenjutsu is a fighting art that's also a killing art. So this is what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I really fucking enjoyed this, and it's also kind of cool too, because like when you're playing with your friends, I noticed that there's a lot more variation in it. It's a lot less of like, okay, like we're gonna play a fighting game and like one player is just gonna dominate the other. It's like like any player can win quickly in a match just with the right movesets and like kind of a little bit of a turn of luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and like I was kicking your ass at Soul Calibur the other day, even though I've barely ever played Soul Calibur.
That still burns my ass. God damn it!
I was just kind of button mashing. This game isn't like you can't button mash in this.
No, this does not favor button mashing. This is a game where you kind of have to. I mean, you can take a run and gun approach, but that's the closest you can do to that sort of thing. It's like you really have to kind of think about what stance you're going to use. You want to use a high, mid, or low stance.
What weapon the character has.
What weapon the character is using, whether the character is more proficient at that particular weapon.
True.
It's like, I mean, if you take a character that's mostly known, that's mostly proficient with a katana and give them a naginata, it's like, I mean, it's gonna cause some issues,
I wonder if maybe that's why I was having difficulty with the heavy weapons when I use them, because like I tried both the naginata and the sledgehammer. And I was like, man, I can't fucking get the feel for these heavy weapons. Maybe those characters just weren't equipped for those.
No, they obviously they weren't. No, like I mean, I find that the Nadachi is a pretty well-rounded weapon for any fighter here.
I'm most familiar with the katana.
Yeah.
That was the one that I spent the most time, because kind of my approach to these types of games is to find that one character or weapon that I like. And I don't even usually go for the one that's like considered like the easiest or whatever. A lot of times I pick the hardest one. That's funny enough. But I usually just kind of pick one thing, and usually it's just kind of like a preference thing. Like, this is a character I like, or this is a thing. So like, in this case, I guess I kind of chose the katana, at least because that's the weapon I was trying out. But and I just try to learn that weapon. And I don't, move on until I, kind of get a feel for it. But I did try out, the various weapons, and, I think it's really cool. Like I said, they all have a different weight to them, and you have to learn them, and how to use them, and
yeah, they have a certain flow to them. That, I mean, especially with the controls and everything. I mean, once you actually get the controls down and how you actually link up different strikes, it's like it becomes a little easier to get through.
And it's like, and there's so many different ways to approach a fight. Like, do you want to run a gun? Do you want to just run it and finish it quick? That might be a good approach against some enemies. Or, do you want to jump around the enemy and surprise them?
Yeah.
Of course, you slice them in the back, you're gonna maybe dishonor. You won't be able to finish the story, so that's something you got to think about. But
yeah.
Or do you want to try to like disable them and like cut off their movement so that they, do you want to play on the defensive?
Exactly. Yeah.
Do that Dark Souls.
Exactly.
That Dark Souls parrying.
Yeah.
Dark Souls is really more dodge rolling, I guess. But the parrying, man, they got the parrying in Bushido Blade. I didn't know parrying went back this far.
Yeah, that's a basic sword fighting thing, dude. Of course.
I'm kidding, but I'm just saying, like yeah, it's like a common aspect of a lot of like modern, AA, AAA games.
Yeah,
but it goes back. Yeah, man. Like I was saying, Bushido Blade in a lot of ways is ahead of its time. Like I was so impressed by like how complex it was, and I think they managed to do that because it's not that big of a game. There's not that much content in it. But like you said, you may kind of manage to pad it with a few different things.
Yes.
But you can get through all of it in like 3 hours. You can explore like everything this game has to offer. Really.
Yeah, but it's very much a less is more type of approach to making a game like this. I mean, normally with fighting games of this era, it would be packed full of all kinds of stuff. Like look at like Tekken 3 is like all the characters that you can unlock there and all the game modes and everything. It's like this right here. It's a lot more compact.
Yeah.
But I mean, they give you a much wider like they give you levels that are literally linked to each other that you can actually freely run through. It's like, I mean, they give you the ability to the ability to pretty much prolong any fight as long as you want it, or to finish it in just a couple of strokes.
Yeah. Exactly. But, sometimes it won't go the way that you think it will. Like, you're fighting against an enemy, you're like, oh, okay, this character is a lot faster than I thought they were. Or they're taking a lot more hits to come down. You know?
Yeah.
Like, or sometimes you're like, you think you're dead, but you're not. You're like on like the brink of death, and you can roll away and like, do a feint attack as you like come back up, surprise attack and stuff.
Yeah. You can absolutely snatch victory from the jaws of defeat and everything.
And there's some cheese strategies you can do, but players can also anticipate those. And there's only so many times like I was able to just like run and gun you, right? Eventually you're like, okay, nah.
Yeah.
I'm on to your bullshit.
Yeah, it's like no. I'm going to let's slow my roll. Let's take a more defensive stance, and let's do this.
Yeah,
exactly.
Adapt, and and the other cool thing too is like, with all the different weapons and characters, you can kind of try things out, and it's like, okay, if this doesn't really work for you, you can select a different character, and or a different weapon and try that out. I really want to play as the gun guy. That's fucking badass, bro.
Yeah, totally, dude.
Yeah,
totally.
Another thing that was cool too was like the mix of both, Japanese and Western weapons, like because you've got both the katana and like the broadsword, the nadachi and the long sword. Like I thought that was
you have
cool.
the saber and you have the rapier.
Yeah,
the rapier is like
fucking sledgehammer. At some point they were like, man, what else can we put in here? Sledgehammer.
Well, battle hammers were a thing back then.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely.
And it's a heavy weapon.
Yeah.
And then that and the naginata. The naginata and the sledgehammer for me, I'm just not very proficient with heavy weapons in general in games. Like I'm like give me the fast weapon kind of guy. But there's trade-offs. The fast weapons are going to be much easier to break.
Exactly. And some of them are also a little shorter. So, they're a little shorter range. So you have to really get in close to your opponent.
Yeah.
So, and if your opponent happens to have a long-range weapon like a nodachi or a naginata, it's like that's going to create a problem.
Right. Right, exactly. So, yeah, really, really, really cool how we kind of have this like realistic, simulation featuring like all these different like weapon types and things. And even though this game has like, when I said like 3 hours worth of content to like explore like everything that it has, there's so much more because it's a fighting game. It's a multiplayer game. You can continue to play with your friends and have these matches. And what I really liked too was how much fun it was to just throw this on and just keep playing match after match after match.
Seriously, this is a fun game to just put on and bullshit with your friends.
Because those matches can go very quickly. You know?
Yeah. It's like, and once you get into the flow of things, you can just pretty much go into each match like da 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 da, and you can just before you know it, one person has like 10 wins, and it's just like, oh wow,
yeah, Yeah, and you can just kind of sit there and shoot the shit and talk while you're fighting each other. This would have been a really fun game to play back in the day on the PS1.
It really would have, man. It's like, this was, it really was in so many ways. This was it was a really, really interesting and innovative approach to making a fighting game.
100%.
And Squaresoft was all about that. Squaresoft managed to. They managed to, in that small period of time, they released one of the greatest RPGs of all time. They released an interesting survival horror entry. They released like a traditional fighter, and then they released something like this, or something like Einhander, which was like more of a side-scrolling shooter. It's like, I mean, they were on a roll.
They were trying a lot of different things.
Yeah, they were trying out a lot of different things. I mean, even like Tobal number 2, I mean, that even had its own little RPG segment that you could play.
They were throwing things out like Parasite Eve, which is like a survival horror RPG, action RPG kind of thing. Like that was like they were trying all sorts of stuff. Like let's do a fighting game, but it's a kendo simulator.
Or even something like Racing Lagoon, which was an RPG about street racers.
Yeah.
And making that all kinds of badass and aesthetically cool. And they all had that aesthetic look to them, It was like kind of futuristic, but not,
Yeah.
It's, it's something that's very specific to this time and era of gaming. And I just love it.
It is a really cool era.
Yeah.
And this is apparently the very first title developed by Lightweight, which was a subsidiary of Square. Obviously, they're punching out all these games. They're having different teams work on them.
Yeah.
This was the first thing. What else did Lightweight do? It seems like they're mostly involved with the Bushido Blade series and also Hello Kitty.
I mean, that sounds about right.
All right, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So when are we gonna get the Bushido Blade versus Hello Kitty game?
Crossover.
The fighting game that includes all of them.
No, when are we gonna get a remaster of this game or a re-release?
That's what I'm saying. Like, a full on remake. Honestly, is what,
you
like kind of put this in a modern game engine. With modern game physics, you can go balls to the wall with
and even
this.
make an amazing story backing it up and everything. It's
and then set that up for like an actual like sequel.
That
would be badass, man. Like, this is the game that's ripe for a remake. I've said that about a few games lately. Like Parasite Eve was one I also said that about too.
Oh, that definitely needs a remake, like in the worst way. Like, especially with what Square Enix did with the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and all of that. It's like, no, we need that proper Parasite Eve remake.
True. And just forget that 2 and 3 happened, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I kind of want to check out Bushido Blade 2 now because, like you mentioned, this game is very compact, and I hear that Bushido Blade 2 kind of expands on that, and there's more characters and things to do. So yeah, I would love to see where they take. But I like how they kind of just approach this as like, let's put this project together and show this, and it's really effective for what it is. This small package,
Yeah, definitely.
And it can provide lots of enjoyment. Like, honestly, like I'd have a lot more fun playing this than probably almost any other fighting game, in this era.
Yeah, definitely.
This is something it's more unique,
And this is an era that you had games like Tekken 2. You had arena fighters like Destrega. You had, of course, all the Capcom games that were coming out, all the Marvel versus Capcom and whatnot. I mean, there was a ridiculous amount of really good fighters that came out in this time, and this right here, I'm almost kind of surprised they didn't release it in the arcades actually.
True, this would kill as an arcade game.
It could have been an interesting arcade game.
Yeah, that would be badass.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Well, all right, let's see. Anything else? The musical score, it's kind of interesting because the music is actually really, really good, but it's sparsely used during the actual fight scenes. It's actually silent, and that it seems very intentional. It's like let's focus in on this experience, and maybe like the sound effects, and like it's just it makes it. I think it grounds it a little bit more.
Absolutely, yeah. It actually. I mean, I can't even imagine trying to play this game with background music during each match because it would just take away from the actual feel and the tone that it's going for, and it actually would force you to not really focus on the fight properly.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
Yeah, you gotta focus. That's the thing.
Yeah, this game is all about focus.
It's all about it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm actually kind of surprised that this even got a North American release. It seems very kind of niche.
You would think so. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people they do like samurai here in the United States. We like our samurai, and this is
hell yeah.
And this is pretty much a full-on samurai simulator. And it's kind of in the same way that like Tenchu was cool because that was a full-on ninja simulator. Mm-hmm. As a stealth game, but it was also, ninjas.
And you got Ghost of Tsushima, which is a samurai and ninja simulator.
Oh, yeah.
In the modern era. But see, I thought that was cool. And then I found out that there's like so many things that like like games like this we're doing that were similar already, you know?
Yeah.
Way back in this era. But nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about games like this or Parasite Eve. That's why they're games that are ripe for remix, because it's like, you know, like they're so underrated. Like I hadn't really even heard of this before you brought it up.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a game that would have gone under people's radar. Even if you were a big SquareSoft fan and was really aware of that particular niche in gaming.
Well, they're pumping out a lot of games, so I wouldn't blame someone.
Yeah, no. They I mean, Square was making a ridiculous amount of stuff at this time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you know, establishing themselves. Hell yeah. All right, I guess. I don't know what else we have really to say about this. I guess we can kind of get into our final thoughts here. This might be a little bit of a shorter episode, but it's a game with 3 hours worth of content.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even think we ever have much for final thoughts that we haven't said already, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, other than this is definitely a game that if you really want to get the whole vibe and that whole feel of what gaming was about on the PlayStation at this era, this is what it's all about right here, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's got that aesthetic. It's trying something different and unique.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, there was a lot of games that were coming out at that time, and I mean, it was really such a step forward for gaming, like gameplay wise, you know, like playing with genre and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we have a game like this out there. And yeah, this definitely needs either a re-release or a remake.
Yeah.
Either
Definitely.
one.
100%.
Yeah.
I definitely think it needs to get like ports on modern consoles so that more people can experience this.
Absolutely. Just even a remaster and throw the first two games on like Switch 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like it would be.
Oh, this would kill on Switch.
It would
too.
kill on Switch 2, dude. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Although it's probably more likely to release on PlayStation Plus.
Probably, but I mean on Switch 2, I mean
It would thrive. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Be badass. Yeah, I was really impressed with this. Again, it's very technically impressive. I think that they really spent the bulk of development time on this, like mastering this, like having a complete experience that feels responsive and fast. You know, it really is, man. It's like the controls are snappy and they feel good. Compare this to the last fucking game on PS1 we just played, Bubsy 3D.
Yeah. Oof.
Like, come on, man. Like this yeah, like these are controls done well. That's what I mean when I say like I'm not just gonna like forgive something because of console limitations. Nah, because we had games that like actually the developers took time to make sure that it felt good and it worked well, and that you actually were able to react quickly in order to fight, you know, and beat enemies.
Yeah, actual depth
And accuracy, being able to, you know, pinpoint different parts of the enemy's body and strike at different places.
Yeah.
You know, and pull off these you know, different combos and moves. Like super important that, you know, you're gonna have a game like this that's gonna require fast reflexes. It needs to play well, and it does. It's phenomenally well. It's like a really good experience. And so while there isn't like a whole lot of content, it's because they really spent time perfecting the core experience. And again, like I mentioned, it does provide a lot more does provide a lot more playtime as a result. This game has a lot of replayability. Shit, I almost feel like just putting it on right now.
I know, right? I mean, we could probably play the versus mode for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Easy.
But like I mentioned, like I don't believe that this is actually ported anywhere currently on any modern hardware. So if you want to play this, you're gonna have to go the emulation route. But I definitely recommend it. We played this on RetroArch with PS5 controllers, and that was fun.
Yeah, they were very responsive, and we got the full experience of the game as it was meant to be played.
Yeah, and you have it on your modded PS1 Classic.
I do, yeah.
Shit, you and I were playing this on the Apple TV.
I know.
RetroArch. That was actually kind of cool.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're allowing the emulators on.
Yeah, Apple allowing emulators is actually kind of a game changer. It
really
like,
is.
It's like the one thing that Android people were always like, we have emulators. And that was the one thing I was like, okay, it is cool that you have emulators, but now we have them too.
And they actually kind of work better than some of the.
Oh, but you know, they
yeah.
got to be like, oh, but Android did it first. I don't care. I'm just happy I can do it now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bo, it's because it's an Android, not an Apple. It's an Apple, not Android. Oh, I dropped my phone and my screen cracked. It's because it's an Apple, not fuck you. I'm sorry, Android. I'm sorry, Android listeners, but some of y'all are fucking intolerable, man.
Yeah,
I don't
come
care
on,
what
y'all.
fucking phone you use. Just at least research things before you talk.
Right.
If you're having an opinion about something, at least know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. But that was one of Robert's jokes. Man, I wish we could have Robert over to play some Bushido Blade. I think he would have enjoyed kind of going back and forth.
I think that he would like it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it can feel a little bit overwhelming. There's like I said, even I was kind of like, well, what do I use these different stances? You're like, you were telling me, you're like, I noticed you're not using the stances. I'm not sure when to. But when I was playing by myself, I was trying out like all the different combos with each weapon, and I was noticing what all these different things were good for. So
Yeah.
that kind of helps too. But yeah, a Bushido Blade, man, super super fun, underrated. Definitely something I feel like people that enjoy fighting games or this era of SquareSoft PS1 games will enjoy. Especially.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hell yeah, give it a shot. But that concludes our review of Bushido Blade. See, we didn't even make it like a full linked episode. How are we going to stretch this to 2, man?
Yeah, exactly. What the hell, man? What the hell?
It's a short but sweet package. Sometimes there may not even be a lot to say, but something can actually stick with you and be really fun.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I'm sure if actually we got really in depth into like the mechanics of this and whatnot. Dude, can you imagine? Do you think anybody ever hosted like a tournament?
I'm not sure. I think
that would be cool.
I think that this would be a good tournament game.
Right.
Honestly,
or like if they do like a remake, can you imagine like having like an online mode and stuff?
Oh my god, ranked online matches. Holy shit.
Yeah, they better have that like network shit on down because you can't have lags here.
No, you need to be on point in order to actually get the feel of everything. Yeah.
True, yeah.
Definitely.
Hell yeah, man. All right. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, leave us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or feedback on your platform of choice. You can help us rise up the ranks on Good Pods. Bo, what's going on with Collateral Cinema?
Well, we just released our review of Rocky IV. As our listeners may know, we have been doing the Rocky franchise pretty much almost every year. Pretty much every season. Yeah. And we're finally at Rocky IV. And we were joined by Reading Between the Reels and the 90 for Chill podcast on that one. So check that one out. We will be recording our Mean Girls review with the Mike, and Oscar podcast. That will be
fetch.
So fetch, exactly. And after that will be our season finale with The Room. We're doing a redux of that, and we're going to be joined by Derek from Ratchet Book Club and Hindsight movie reviews for that one.
Popping his cherry.
Yeah. He hasn't seen that movie yet.
And by the way, that is our 100th episode.
100th episode and our season finale for season 8. So
it's a very special episode.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a few interesting messages from some of our friends as well. So
and also Tommy Wiseau is going to be on. No, just kidding.
No, I wish.
That's the goal for the 200th.
Yeah, there we go.
We got to get Tommy Wiseau on the podcast for the 200th.
200th. Well, that was like it took us almost 10 years to get 100. So
you heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Collateral Cinema is wrapping up, and so is Collateral Gaming. I know we're still working through our backlog, but I'm glad we finally got through this. So our next numbered episode is actually going to be our season finale. I know people probably been waiting for us to talk about it because I have been really excited about it, but that is the Nintendo Switch 2 release. So part 1 will be our Mario Kart World review, and then part 2 is going to be our kind of like Switch 2 lineup. That's going to be coming out here next month in June and July, so we'll actually have the benefit of the library of June and July Switch 2 titles. So when I say launch titles, that's going to include anything that had been released up to that point, which will be cool. So I mean, that'll include like Raito Remastered, which just came out. I've been checking that out, and Donkey Kong Bonanza might even be out by the time we do part 2, so that'll be cool. So yeah, stay tuned for our Switch 2. Other things set to come out or may already be out depending on what order I release things in. A bonus round episode on Doom Eternal, a game launch episode overdue on Doom the Dark Ages, but we are having it out. Possibly an episode on Elden Ring Night Rain. I know my buddy Michael Toscano wanted to be on that. But I know that he was mentioning that he's kind of not really in a position to like record a lot of stuff right now. If he is now, I'll do the episode with him. If not, we might just save that for the year in review because we do have a lot of content to push. But Elden Ring Night Ring has been pretty fun. I've been enjoying that. I think that's it. I don't think our last episode, of course, was Bubsy, and we will be working very soon on Collateral Gaming Season 8 and Collateral Cinema Season 9.
Oh, yeah. We're looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
And we're already kind of putting together these seasons, and it's going to be good, man. We've been doing this for fucking, I guess 10 years now.
Close to 10 years.
Close to 10 years, man.
Close to it.
Podcasting.
Yeah.
Between both podcasts. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, man. And now we have 100 numbered episodes of Collateral Cinema. That's like, what the hell,
50
man?
episodes of Collateral Gaming.
Wow.
Numbered episodes.
That's crazy, man. Jeez.
Yeah, we both hit that a mark this last season.
Excellent.
It's been a good ride. It's been
really-
a good ride so far.
really
And I'm
has.
glad you suggested this game. I always look forward to your suggestions, Bo, of like retro games from. You often suggest games from like the PS1 era.
Yeah, because that's my era, and
That's
that's
your
my
era.
that's
That's what
my
you grew up
console.
with.
You know
Yeah.
that was my introduction to the world of 3D gaming. So
And I actually really enjoy this era. Like it's fun for me. It's something that like it interests me. It sinks me in, and I like it. But hell yeah, guys! Again, yeah, you can help support us by giving us feedback on podcast platforms and also social media. We are on Blue Sky, Threads, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the works. We do also have a Patreon for both podcasts where we have exclusive content. We haven't uploaded some stuff in a while there, but it's there. Other ways you can support the show, you can get you some Collateral Media merch. I'm actually wearing my Collateral Cinema shirt right now. I should have put on the gaming shirt, Bo. What's wrong with me?
I don't know, man.
Kidding. But I have I love my Collateral Media shirts. You can go find those on Dashery at TeePublic. We'll have links in the show notes. Also, buy me a coffee. And pretty soon here we're going to be getting into our postseason. So we may actually be able to get going. We kind of put Collateral Let's Play on hold for the time being. As we work through the backlog. But maybe while I'm down here, we can go ahead and get a Phoenix Wright Wednesday episode recorded.
I'm down to do that like tomorrow night or something like that.
Forgot to mention, we do have a bonus, Collateral Cinema Director's Cut episode recorded.
Oh, that's
already,
right.
set to
Yeah.
release.
With Robbie Sherman from Conversations with Robbie.
Yeah.
It's going to be on Lupin the Third, Voyage to Danger.
Yeah, and at the time of recording this, we're doing Mean Girls next weekend. So my plan was to get that out this week. So that may be out either already or soon after this episode.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
have that out. So been a while since we did a director's cut or a bonus round. So and we're getting pumping out those.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Definitely.
during the postseason, we'll release some Let's Play content, get caught up with that, and maybe even do some At the Movies episodes for Collateral Cinema.
Yeah, definitely. There's some interesting movies coming out this summer. So yeah.
The Minecraft movie, that was something that was a natural collab that we need to do that I want to throw into the postseason, probably. A Minecraft movie.
Yeah, let's do it.
We should do it. We got
I'm down. Sounds good to me.
with the chicken jackies, bro.
Oh God.
Or whatever the kids say these days. God damn it, you whippersnappers. I was playing Minecraft while you guys were in diapers.
Yeah.
not
And it was the original build, and they
The
had
Java
to-
edition, the only real edition.
Yeah,
of
they had to
Minecraft.
take Hero Brian out with every update.
Every update.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah. That was our 420 episode one year. That was fun. Minecraft.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. Also, after our season finale for Collateral Gaming, we should have our anniversary special out. We're going to do a Let's Play on Four Swords.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And for our Mike-versary on Collateral Cinema, we're doing Fudo, the New Generation.
Hell yeah.
So, hell yeah. And we're going to have Dads from the Crypt with us on
Oh,
that
fuck
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like those guys. All right. So thanks for listening. I don't know what you're still doing here. Why are you still here?
Yeah. What
are you
the
doing?
hell? Yeah, get out of here.
Get out of here. We're Ferris Buelling you.
Yeah.
That would have worked better if I waited till the end of the episode to do it, but
Yeah.
we're just going to roll with it.
Fuck it.
So have a wonderful rest of your week, day, whatever. And that all being said, I've been Ryan Gosling.
And I have been Ryan Gosling from Lars and the Real Girl.
So that's something we got to do on a future Collateral Cinema. So we have Robert. We're all just like, I'm Ryan Gosling. And you're like, and I'm Michael Cera or something.
Right.
All right. Nah, fuck it, guys. We're out.
Out.
Collateral Gaming is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and game clips are owned by their respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.